Hello, my name is Maggie. Thank you for joining me. We have a mindful flow that we'll work through today. Take it at your own pace. We'll keep things pretty chill, but if you like more challenge in your practice, you're always welcome to add that in on your own as well. We'll get started in a comfortable seat. So if legs crossed is comfortable, you're welcome to begin there. If you'd prefer to be in hero's pose with the sits bones over the heels, you're welcome to move there as well. Whatever space you choose though, begin to close the eyes. And starting off, let's take a collective breath. Exhale all the air from the belly. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Start to return to a regular pattern of breath. Simply noticing the breath. Start to bring awareness into those sits bones. Feel them rooted into the mat, grounding you in. Notice the other points of the body that also touch the mat. Allow every single one of those spots to just become a little bit heavier with every exhale. Working into some alternate nostril breathing or nadi shodhana, a breath that helps us stay rooted and grounded, very calming for the mind and the body. When you're ready, bring the right hand towards the head. The index and middle finger can rest on the third eye. The thumb comes to the right nostril, and the ring finger reaches over the left nostril. Plugging the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Plug the left nostril and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug the right nostril, open the left, and exhale. Inhale through the left nostril. Plug the left, open the right, and exhale. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug the right and exhale through the left. Continuing with this pattern of breath, using your own breath. Finishing up one more round. And as you're done, the right hand rests back on the right knee. Just sit for a moment and notice how the body feels. Notice how the mind feels. As you're ready, start to blink the eyes open. And eventually making your way over, rolling over the knees, making your way into child's pose. Knees take out to the outside edges of the mat, big toes to touch. Let the hips sink over the heels, and the forehead finds a space to rest on the mat. Arms go heavy next to the head. Perhaps you shut down the eyes again and return to a pattern of breath, noticing every inhale and every exhale. On your next inhale, both arms start to walk forward to the front of the mat. Feel the lengthening through the entire arm. One more inhale. On the exhale, both hands walk off to the right side. That right arm maybe reaches long on top of the left. Maybe it comes around to the right hip. Forehead remains rooted. Next inhale, hands come back to center. And on the exhale, let them walk off to the left. On the next inhale, hands walk back to center. Keeping the hips over the heels, take the right hand and let it thread underneath the left armpit, releasing the weight onto the right shoulder. Temple rests on the mat. Next inhale, the right arm reaches back to the front of the mat. And the left arm comes underneath the right armpit, resting the weight on the shoulder. Temple releases to the mat. On the next inhale, the left arm reaches long. And eventually start to press yourself up into a tabletop. As you make your way to tabletop, shoulders are stacked directly above the wrists. We feel the hips right over the knees. Fingers are spread as wide as they can on the mat and pressing down evenly through the entire hand, so much so that maybe that inner elbow starts to turn to face the front of the mat. Inhale, belly releases towards the mat, heart draws to the front of the room, cow pose. And on the exhale, shoulder blades press to the sky, gaze comes to the belly, rounding through the spine, cat pose. Inhale, belly releases, heart draws forward. Exhale, shoulder blades press, gaze comes to the belly, cat. Continue to move through cat, cows, your breath, your movement. Feeling firmly rooted in through the entire palm on both hands. Notice where the knees reach the mat. Feeling grounded through that area of the body as well. Eventually starting to make your way back to a neutral tabletop. Pressing down the weight as we shift it into the right hand. On an inhale, the left arm reaches into the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. The arm reaches under the right armpit. Shoulder releases to the mat. Maybe that right arm walks long in front of the head. Maybe it wraps around the back for the left hip. One more inhale. On the exhale, the right hand plants in front of the face. Next, inhale, the left arm reaches back, high into the sky. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm reaches high into the sky, chest opens fully. Exhale, thread the needle under the left arm, shoulder releases, head releases. Maybe that left hand walks long. Maybe it wraps around the back for the right hip. One more inhale. On the exhale, the left hand plants in front of the face. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, hand plants. Keeping the hips stacked directly above the knees, both hands start to walk forward to the front of the mat. Allowing the forehead to rest, eventually making your way into puppy pose. Think about the heart drawing towards the mat, starting to feel the opening in the chest and through the shoulders. Begin to press yourself back up, meeting in a tabletop posture. And then as you feel ready, hands walk one handprint forward, toes tuck. Hips start to reach up and back for our first down dog. As you make your way to down dog, maybe you take a wide stance on the mat, perhaps a deep bend in the knees. Tailbone lifts high into the sky. Weights evenly distributed through the entire hand. Triceps turn in towards the head. And that tailbone lifts as high as it can into the sky. Noticing if there's any curvature of spine, maybe you take a bend in the knees and reach that tailbone a little higher. Wherever you're at, bend the knees, gaze forward. Slowly begin to travel to the top of your mat on the exhale. Forward fold once you arrive. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins or thighs. Crown of the head pulls to the front of the room, and we start to feel the core fire. Belly button pulls into the spine to create that long, straight spine. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift, that full extension. Exhale, release. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Bending at the knees, very slowly stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Coming all the way up to stand tall. Once you arrive, maybe some shoulder circles. Releasing the ear to each shoulder. Feeling rooted through all four corners of both feet. The kneecaps slightly start to pull up. Feel the tailbone start to tuck down just a bit. Belly button pulls into the spine. So we really create that long, straight spine. Inhale, both arms will reach the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms will reach to the sky. Exhale, heart pulls you forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands plant, feet travel to the back of the mat. Plank pose. Shoulders are stacked directly above the wrist, but knowing we have variations. Either staying high on the toes as the heels pull over, or releasing the knees to the mat. Any variation is welcome. Using your next exhale, release either halfway or all the way to the belly. Inhale, heart pulls up and forward, baby cobra. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, pressing all the way back up, plank pose. And on the exhale, hips reach up and back, down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. On the exhale, slowly start to travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, both arms reach high into the sky, standing tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, heart pulls you forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands plant, feet travel to the back of the mat. Your variation of a flow, either staying high or letting the knees come to the mat. Inhale as the heart pulls up and forward for your variation of a back bend. Exhale, hips reach up and back, down dog. On the next inhale, the right leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Toes face the mat. We let the whole right leg feel engaged and active, as if it's going to press right up against a wall. One more inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Foot plants at the top of the mat once you arrive. Knees directly over the ankle in the front foot. And on an exhale, the back knee releases. Inhale, both arms reach to the sky, low lunge. Optional, let the arms stay lifted. Maybe they come to rest on the front leg. And start to feel those inner thighs pull together. So while we absolutely can find a little bit of release in that front hip flexor, we're not dumping in entirely. There's a little bit of engagement. Wherever the hands are at. On the next inhale, they reach to the sky. Exhale, hands plant on the mat. Pull the right hip back to line up with the left. Half splits, flexing through the front foot. We think about that right hip lining up with the left. So maybe we pull it back into space. Taking a deep bend through the knee if that allows for more opening in the hamstring. Your next inhale, pour the weight back into the right foot. The right hand comes inside the right knee as we start to gently let it open up. Not creating any extra pressure on the knee, just allowing for the opening in through the hip, especially early on in class. As you're ready, letting that leg close back off. Right hand plants on the mat. Engage through the left leg as it lifts up. Right leg comes back to meet the left. And your variation of a flow, or we skip it all together and meet down dog. On your next inhale, the left leg reaches into the sky. Flexing through the foot, again the toes face the mat, both hips remain facing the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, foot plants at the top of the mat once you arrive. Check in, make sure that knee is directly over the ankle. And as you're ready, the back knee releases. Inhale, both arms reach to the sky. And again, the option will let them stay drawn. Maybe they come to the front leg. Return to the breath. Think about those inner thighs pulling together ever so slightly to keep the body engaged. Wherever the hands are at on the next inhale, let them both reach up. Exhale, hands plant on the mat. Pull the left hip back to line up with the right, half splits. Again, maybe we bend through that left leg, flexing through the front foot. Thinking about the heart drawing towards the foot instead of the head. Next, inhale, pour the weight back into the front foot. The left hand comes inside the left knee as it gently starts to open through the hip. Maybe the bottom of the foot even comes up off the mat. But again, not adding any extra pressure, allowing the opening to be gentle. Just starting to work into those hips a little bit. When you're ready, letting that close back off. Engaging through the right leg, the left hand comes to the mat. Left leg comes back to meet the right, and your variation of a flow, or we meet in down dog. Using your next inhale, the right leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Option to stay right here in three-legged dog. Maybe you start to pull the right hip on top of the left, taking a bend through the knee, perhaps as it draws towards the glute. Allowing an equal distribution of weight in both hands, not dumping into one or the other. Recognize that we're using both hands to support the weight of the body. If you've chosen to open the hip, on the next exhale, let it close back off. Right leg continues to press the back wall, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Foot plants at the top of the mat, runner's lunge. As we start to walk the hands over to the long side of the mat, opening up for a wide-legged forward fold. Feet are parallel with the back and front of the mat. Let the fold at the torso begin, at the hips begin to happen, letting the torso go heavy. Head releases. So you're ready, both hands come to the hips, starting to engage through the core. The belly button pulls into the spine. And we let the whole torso start to lift up into the sky. Toes face out, heels face in once you arrive. On an inhale, both arms will reach to the sky, starfish. And on the exhale, we let the knees come out, facing the toes, hips start to sink, goddess. Shoulder blades draw together at the back. Elbows are parallel with the shoulders. Belly button pulls into the spine. When we think about those shoulders stacking over the hips, noticing if we've got any sort of lean forward, we straighten it right back up. On the next inhale, everything reaches. Right toes turn to face the front of the mat. On an exhale, cartwheeling the hands down. Right leg comes back to meet the left. Optional flow or meet in down dog. On your next inhale, the left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Option to stay. Again, if opening the hip felt good, maybe start to peel the left hip on top of the right. Keeping the weight in both hands. Shoulders do their best to face the mat. If you've chosen to open the hip on the next exhale, letting it close back off, left leg continues to press towards the back wall, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Knee to chest, foot plants at the top of the mat. And again, we let those hands walk over to the long side of the mat, opening up for our wide-legged forward fold. Allowing for the head to go heavy. Return to that pattern of breath. Whatever that natural pattern may be for you. Hands come to the hips as you're ready. Belly button pulls into the spine, engaging through the entire abdomen as we start to let the whole torso lift and rise. Once you arrive, toes face out, heels face in. Inhale, arms reach to the sky, starfish. On the exhale, both hips start to sink. Hands come to cactus, goddess pose. Again, we let those shoulder blades draw together at the back, creating that 90-degree angle from the shoulder to the elbow. Make sure the knees are tracking the same direction as the toes. A neutral tilt to the pelvis. Your next inhale, everything reaches. Left toes turn to face the front of the room, and on the exhale, the hands start to cartwheel down. Left leg comes back to meet the right. Your variation of a flow or meet in down dog. Let's take a collective breath. Exhale out all the air from the belly. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. From down dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest, foot plants at the top of the mat, runner's lunge. We start to take a tiny step in with that back foot, starting with a heel-to-heel alignment. Back left foot is at a 45-degree angle. As we keep the bend in the front knee, on an inhale, both arms reach to the sky, warrior one. And right away, start to check in. Notice that heel-to-heel alignment. Warrior one, we want both hips to face the front of the mat. So if that left hip's starting to pull open, simply heel toe the foot out so that the feet are on different tracks. A wider stance is still warrior one. Letting the right arm start to reach down the back. Maybe the left hand comes to the elbow, gently allows it to press a little farther down. If you're feeling open through the shoulders, maybe that left hand wraps around the back, grabbing for the right. You're welcome to grab a towel. Maybe you grab the towel ends. Think about the heart continuing to draw forward as it assists with the shoulder opening on the right side. If you have a grip, letting go. Next inhale, both arms reach to the sky. And on the exhale, take a giant step forward, standing tall. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, heart pulls you forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands plant, feet travel to the back of the mat. Optional flow, or make your way right into down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, foot plants at the top of the mat, runner's lunge. We take that tiny step in, heel to heel alignment, 45-degree angle with the back right foot. Keeping a bend through the front knee. On an inhale, both arms reach to the sky, warrior one. And we check in right away. Notice that right hip. If it's starting to pull open because the legs are too close, simply heel toe that foot to the outside edge of the mat. Maybe it even comes off the mat, but allowing both hips to face the front of the mat. Blade of the back foot is pressing into the mat. Help to keep the knee engaged. And then your variation of the shoulder opener. So maybe that left hand just starts to reach down the back. Maybe the right hand simply gently rests on the elbow. Think about the heart drawing towards the front of the room. If a deeper shoulder opener is in your practice, or the body's feeling open, maybe that right arm reaches around the back. Knowing that the arms and the fingers can touch, but they never have to. As long as we think about that heart drawing to the front of the room, to continue to let that left shoulder open. Releasing any grip you may have. Both arms reach to the sky on an inhale. And on the exhale, giant step forward, coming standing tall at the top of your mat. Your next exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, heart pulls you forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands plant, feet travel to the back of the mat. Optional flow or meet in down dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest, foot plants at the top of the mat, runner's lunge. We let that back foot start to rotate down, looking for that heel to arch alignment. And on an inhale, the whole torso starts to reach up, warrior two. Gaze is open. 2 full rounds of breath. Inhale, flip the front palm, begin to reach up. Left hand comes around the back or rest down the left thigh. Think about how high that right arm can reach into the sky, feeling the opening through the armpit, maybe even down into the hip. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. So you start to pivot the left toes, bring the left hip forward to the front of the mat, crescent lunge. Both hips face the front of the room, high on the left toes. We feel the heel pull right over the toes. The whole left leg is actively reaching towards the sky. One more inhale. Exhale, hands plant on the mat. Right leg comes back to meet the left. Optional flow or make your way right into down dog. On the next inhale, left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest, foot plants at the top of the mat, runner's lunge. Back heel rotates down again. We find that heel to arch alignment. And on an inhale, the arms open up, warrior two. Blade of the back foot is pressing into the mat. Engage through both legs so we've got equal weight on both sides. Arms reach in either direction, but we see can those shoulders release down the back. 2 full rounds of breath.
Inhale, flip the front palm, begin to reach up. Right hand comes to the right thigh. Maybe it wraps around the back. We feel the whole front side body start to lengthen. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. So start to pivot onto those right toes. Let the right hip pull to the front of the room, crescent lunge. Both hips now face the front of the room. We feel that heel pull over the toes in the back. The whole right leg is active. One full round of breath. One more inhale. Exhale, let the hands come to the mat. Left leg comes back to meet the right. Optional flow or make your way right into down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. On the exhale, start to travel to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Heel toe the feet to the outside edges, toes face out, heels face in. And on an exhale, let both hips start to sink towards the mat, Malasana. Hands come to heart center. Maybe the elbows help to press the knees open. Return to your pattern of breath. Maybe you even close the eyes. Feeling rooted and grounded through the feet. Feeling your attachment to the earth and to the mat. Hands start to plant on the mat. Both hips start to reach into the sky. Heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, both arms reach high into the sky, standing tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Starting to set up for our balancing posture, tree pose. Coming to stand tall. Again, feeling rooted through both feet. All four corners of the feet press into the mat. The kneecaps slightly start to pull up on the legs. As we pour the weight into the right side, hands come to heart center. On an inhale, the left leg starts to lift up, high march. Flexing through the left toes. And working into your variation of tree pose. The left foot is welcome to come down, kickstand on the mat as the heel faces in towards the shin, knee opening towards the left side. If balance is feeling good today, maybe you slide that up to the calf. Balance is feeling really solid. Maybe that leg comes all the way inside the right thigh. Avoiding the knee though, whatever variation you're choosing to take. Continuing to think about that left knee opening to the left side. Pressing into the thigh as much as the thigh is pressing back into the foot. One more round of breath. Using your next inhale to engage through the left leg, let it come back into high march. Exhale, let it release. Shake out that right leg if there was any tension that crept in. And then when you're ready, rooting down through both feet again. Starting to solidify the base, letting that feel really solid before you begin to move. As you're ready, hands come to heart center, weight pours into the left side. On an inhale, the right leg starts to reach up, high march. Flexing through the right toes, we let the leg feel active. active. And starting to make your way into your variation of tree pose. Maybe that means the right foot kickstands as the heel draws into the shin. Maybe it starts to lift up on the calf. Maybe all the way into the inner thigh. But thinking about that right knee, continuing to open to the right side, allowing the hips to even open in tree pose. Belly button pulls into the spine. Allow the core to stay engaged to help with balance. Find a non-moving spot at the front, in front of you. One more round of breath. Your next inhale, bringing the foot back into high march. Engage through the leg. One more hold. Exhale, let it release. Shake out that left leg if there's any tension. And then as you're ready, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly begin to release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands plant, feet travel to the back of the mat. Your variation of a flow, or the hips reach up and back for down dog. As you make your way to down dog, eventually the feet will just come to the center of the mat. Letting the legs cross as the hips reach towards the mat. Both legs go long in front. Flexing through the feet. On an inhale, the crown of the head lifts to the sky. And on an exhale, hinging from the hip, allow the torso to start to pull forward. Forward fold. Allowing the spine to stay as straight as it can. Knowing that that might feel like we're losing some of our distance in our fold, but that's okay. Noting that if we allow the spine to stay straight and fold from the hips, start to feel the opening in the hamstrings. Your next inhale, pressing all the way up. And eventually all the way back onto your back. Both feet plant on the mat. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Knees are directly underneath the ankles, above the ankles. Hands start to press into the mat. As you start to fire up through the quads, on an inhale, both hips reach into the sky, bridge pose. Try to release any extra tension in the glutes. Let the quads and the core do the work. Your next exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly start to release. Allow one round of breath with the back flat on the mat. And your next inhale, both hips start to reach the sky again. Bridge pose. On the next exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly releasing. Tailbone's the last piece to arrive on the mat. And one round of breath, let the back lie flat. On the next inhale, both hips reach into the sky again. Final bridge pose. Releasing any tension in the glutes. Quads do the work to hold us up. And the next exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, start to release. Tailbone's the last piece to arrive. One moment of stillness. And if windshield wipers feels good, maybe you start to invite those in, releasing any tension in the low back. Rooting down through the left foot, we take the right leg and let it cross over the right knee. Pressing that right knee towards the front of the room. Starting to open in through the right hip. If this is enough, please stay right here. If you need a little more hip opening, on your next exhale, maybe the left leg draws into the chest, wrapping the hands around the thigh or the shin. Flexing through the right foot, though, to help protect the right knee. On your next exhale, the left leg releases back to the mat. Switching sides, right foot plants on the mat. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Left knee starts to press towards the front of the mat, and if this is enough, staying here. And if you need more on the exhale, the right leg draws into the chest. Hands wrap around the thigh, maybe around the front shin. Flexing through the left foot, helping to protect that knee. Right leg releases back to the mat if it left. Left leg comes to meet it. Then allowing both legs to draw into the chest. One more inhale. And on the exhale, both knees release to the left side. Right shoulder stays rooted into the mat. Legs go heavy. Your next inhale, both legs come back to center. And on the exhale, let them release to the right side. Left shoulder stays rooted onto the mat. Next inhale, knees come back to center. Noting if there's anything else that your practice is asking for, but otherwise knowing that when you're ready, making your way into Shavasana, or our final resting pose of corpse pose. Legs go wide, they take up space on the mat. Let the arms go wide to allow them to become heavy. Just like at the beginning of class, we bring the awareness to where the body is pressing into the mat. Let all those spots start to get a little heavier. The legs release deeper. The glutes release. The arms and the shoulders press and ground in even more. The back of the head is heavy. Close the eyes. Using your next exhale, release everything onto the mat.
Be like a tree. Stay grounded. Connect with your roots. Turn over a new leaf. Bend before you break. Enjoy your unique, natural beauty. Keep growing. Knowing that you are welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. If you're ready to eventually make your way out, releasing to either side in the fetal position when you are ready. If you're making your way out of practice, begin to press yourself into a comfortable seat as you feel ready. Exhale out all the air from the belly. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Hands come to heart center. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Again, thank you for joining. My name is Maggie. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to contact the studio. Otherwise, have an amazing day, a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you on your mat soon.